Okay, y'all, it's Wednesday, May 24th. Been done planting for a while. Got some bad news yesterday. Kind of knew it was going to happen. Our Milo needs some more seeds dropped in it. We'll know more today. Our seed rep, or the agronomist for DeKalb was coming by to look at it, but we figure 55, 60,000 is all we got. If we would have got a rain, it was planted 5-5. We got a little 3/10 on it there that Sunday, Monday, somewhere in them days, like 5-8, 5-9, give or take. Had we got a rain the following Friday or Monday, I think we'd have been just fine. Didn't get it, so here's where we are. We did catch. Uncle got 7/10 north of the farm. I got 4/10 here Friday. Where the Milo's at, it was basically dry the next morning. Like at 9 o'clock, it was already dried back off. Now there is some Milo still coming, but you dig down now, it's leafing out underground, so it's basically done. We've got the double crop Milo seed in there, which that is looking less and less likely of planting the double crop Milo due to the wheat is dragging or slowing down maturity wise. I think it would have been quicker if we get some rain, but we've got no rain hardly. I think I finished April and May so far, and I gotta make sure I'm right. I think April we got an inch of rain and multiple rains. The biggest was like 3/10. May, I think for May I'm right now sitting at an inch and 2 or 3. We had a 4/10 after we planted the Milo, and we had a 6/10. So yeah, as of right now, May 22nd, 24th, whatever the date was, we're sitting on another inch and something, inch and a tenth or whatever right now, and there is no rain. There is no 10-day forecast. There is no rain at all. Today's the last hot day. Supposed to be, it was 84 yesterday. It said for a high. Supposed to be 86, 87 today. Tomorrow's supposed to be 72. So yeah, Friday's supposed to stay cool. Saturday's supposed to be cool. And I did see next Tuesday back at 90. So yeah, heat's coming with no rain. And basically dry. The weather thing I seen the first 10 days of June, there is dry as well. Not looking good to me. Time will tell, but we got plenty of moisture to get the Milo up. We're just going to run some in. Got to talk to the seed guy now because we're going to do wide dropping. So now we got to figure out how we're going to wide drop if we're going to split the middles. But we'll know more on that this evening. I'll probably do a video replanting the Milo. Frustrating, but that's the way it is. Thought you'd get through a year without replant, but we didn't. I brought this home yesterday with the planter. It's been done CMI'd. Oh, it was done last week. So finally got it home. Got the combine home last week. Yeah, brought it home. It's in the shop. It's in the old shed. My cultivator's still in there. I lost a week of work. Had strep throat like the 10th of May and all that. So I lost a whole week of work. So cultivator is done. Well, I got to put bolts in the harrow. There's bolts in the harrow. I ordered the bolts yesterday or the day before. So I got to put them in, and then it is ready to go to the shed. I got new sweeps on the back 2 rows. The front 3 rows, I'm going to run the extended wear sweeps. Hopefully, like I said, can wear them out. If we run it this fall, if not, we'll run it in the spring. But that's kind of my hope and process is to do that. So it'll be ready for fall or spring, either one. So that's kind of my hope to do that. Working on greasing the chopper. I just got to use the hand pump to grease the U-joints. They are done. It's back in the shop, and I got the electric grease gun. I'm greasing the axles and the pivot bushings back here. So it'll be ready. Basically, I'm pretty well caught up. I got one place to mow yet. Some places I mowed early, kind of coming back, but I'm not really worried about them right now. I'm just going through before the holiday, getting them all knocked off. Got that strip to do. I mowed a waterway yesterday. That's usually always wet. We never can mow it till it's very, very dry. Yep, I mowed everything on it. Mowed the whole darn thing, and yeah, where a neighbor's tile outlet kind of, which it's wet because the neighbor's tile outlet kind of dumps into it. And yeah, there was no issue mowing the bottom. It was absolutely kind of scary. Kind of very concerning to me when you can mow a waterway in middle of May. I mowed it last week, and I could have mowed it all last week. Just I ran out of time and never got back to it, and been hauling some grain and all that back and forth. So do got to go get 4 bags of beans. We got to replant some beans for deer. Yeah, now we got deer working hard, and the places we think they should be working, they're not, so it's plus. But and after we thought about it, we got one farm it's only beans for about 3/4 mile around. So yeah, they are just going to ours. But I'll set the planter about 80,000, just row some in. I'll get them after lunch and get that done. But got one spot to mow. Got 2 spots I have not mowed. Got one waterway I'm not mowing yet. I'll wait till we cut the wheat because I'm kind of wanting to let the fescue. We done some waterway work on it last fall, so I'm kind of wanting to let the fescue seed out and kind of reseed itself, and then we're going to do more waterway work on it anyway after we cut the wheat. So I'd as soon let it kind of seed itself out, and I'll try and mow it. I may try and mow it next week, knock it off, because it is seeding pretty good now. But it's to get it out of the way and get it while the crop is small. I got one more place we usually don't mow till July, but I might try and mow it next week, because if it's going to be hot, do something, stay cool. And then, yeah, I got one more spot to mow around the place. I got to mow around one more place. But I plan on doing that next week when it gets hot. So, kind of rough mowing anyway. The alfalfa is just starting to bloom. It was starting to bloom yesterday a little bit. So, after that rain, it pushed it. So, I'd say it may get cut next week, pending the weather forecast. We'll see on that. Who knows? Time will tell on that. But got to winterize the starter system in this bean planter. I plan on doing that here after a bit. I might do it this evening here still. I need to have somebody come give me a hand, because just one man show right now. So got to have a little bit of help for a minute to get that winterized. I got to winterize, and I'm going to have my old full-time guy. I'm going to plant the milo tomorrow probably. I will got to pick the grain cart off it, and we're going to put the grain cart back on this 290. And I'll put the bean planter back. I'll put the corn planter back on it, so I can get it ready in the morning. Kind of my thought, and be ready to go. Did get a call on my new arrival. Sometime in the next probably 2 weeks, or closer than that probably, we'll be taking my tractor to the dealership so they can get the stuff out of my tractor and put in my new one I got coming. So I would say probably, it sounds like to me, I'll have it to plant double crop milo beans. Milo, I think, is out the window right now. Just pending the wheat forecast. The wheat's just going real slow. We shall see. Time will tell. I'm not holding my breath right now, but as dry as it is, it's not really going to do much anyway. But if anything, I'm going to try and plant the double crop beans with my new tractor. So that's kind of my thought. I want to, instead of putting the bean planter on it, if I know we can't plant milo, I'll just put the bean planter on my new tractor and get it all ready, to make sure it's all ready to go. So plant with it and just I used it some. So I do got to put the nav out of my 245, put it back in the combine. Put the RTK in the combine. I get the corn planter done. I may put a cultivator on next week. I don't know. Not really sure I want to cultivate, but just kind of wouldn't mind to have a few strips playing around. They always say it brings moisture to the top, so I've just kind of, some guys are cultivating. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So get bored, it gets hot, I may do that. At least something to do, and kind of keep yourself busy. At least do a few things playing around. Ain't got to wash it back off really, but that's all I can think of to add. A bean planter or bean head, it's ready to go anytime. So, but yeah, I think we're a month out of cutting wheat, and I think we're later than that probably. Time will tell. Here's what the corn looks like. First 4 rows here is sweet corn right here, the edge of my shop. There's 4 rows here of Obsession 2, I think it is. I can't remember exactly on that, but it's Obsession 2. It was planted 2 days after the field corn, or 3 days, so Yeah, the little 1-row push punter ain't got good singulation, but that seed, the sweet corn seed, has all been itty bitty stuff. So I did not use the other plate I had, which it leaves skips anyway, but yeah. I can water this sweet corn. I did some last year. I might still try and throw a little bit of water on it, but it's actually not doing too bad. Here's the field corn. Yeah, not looking bad. Still with Tri-Volt, we are still clean. I mean, that's pretty amazing to me. That's my one thing on Tri-Volt. But yep, it does still look clean. I mean, I'm not complaining a bit on it. For dry weather, what we had, I'm still pretty impressed with it. One thing on the Milo we are seeing is like something is eating the leaves. There's a cat playing around. So we got baffled on that one. And here is, you can see my one screw up row where something got messed up, and yeah, it ain't bad. I mean, it's better than nothing right now, so I'm not complaining. Yeah, both of them's playing. So that's where we're at. So pretty good stand right there. Little bit of uneven emergence, which you're gonna have that with just the cool weather. There's a double right there. And yeah, for planting in that cool weather, I'm not gonna complain. And there's what I got on the whole farm this year. I've got all that. Yeah, and when you was coming back into it, it was not kicking on quick enough. So my fault, my mess up. Yeah, lovely, but yep, one of them things. It happens. Yeah. At least this way I ain't got to count no rows whenever I'm laying off lands though, so that will be kind of handy to have. Not that really quite funny, but it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it now, so it's over and done with. But yep, and I always do like to overplant, so I'm not complaining a bit. 2 rows over don't bother me a bit. I've always said when we do it, I want the first row covered in corn. I want extra out there, so did it, and that's fine. I just never thought when they updated the 2020 that it would take everything back to factory settings, but it did. So, but it happens. I'm not worried about it. It happens. Yeah, I should have been digging it more. I thought I did. I thought I dug it, and I thought it was fine. So, my fault. I just never thought about it. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's here at the shop. This is 6618 with hog manure on it. Hog manure on it, and NH3 in the fall. And be a side dress pass to come. I did count on doing it yourself, or count on doing the 32 themselves, custom, because not knowing when I would get my tractor, and not knowing on that when I would get it back and all that, so I said just do it. He pretty well told me if it don't rain, we ain't gonna need it. So he said, as of right now, we're in a holding pattern. Said if it ain't gonna rain, so there's no use even doing it. And he's right. So we were in that same boat last year, and it finally rained, and we did it. So I just hope I can find somebody to do some wide drops. That's is my only concern right now. The guy that did our wide drops, they have quit doing it now, which I understand. It is a lot of work to do, so I understand that totally. So that's where we're at right now. Hopefully we can find somebody and go from there. But we got the corn on my tiled ground is taller than this, but I mean it's not by much. We're maybe another leaf on it, maybe, give or take. It's been a few days since I have seen it, but that's where we're at on that. Bean planter did not need much at all. I forget what all they said they did to it. Got a lift switch to replace sometime. They didn't replace it, which I said that was the main thing. I've had issues when it got replaced. God, 4 years ago, you have to keep unplugging that lift switch because it keeps saying it's not fully raised to finish folding up. So beside the point, but yeah, I said replace that, and they didn't do it, but that's beside the point. The kind of expensive CMI. Now, Case is supposed to cover some of that cost, and I hope they do, because I'm not very pleased with this 7250 combine on the maintenance cost. It is very, very expensive to me. And No, they did not put the stops in. And I drove it from Casey that way. I guess they, yeah. I'll leave that alone. But yeah, our combine got kind of expensive to me, and there's another bucket I was looking for the other day. They had it basically done, and got told of a PIP that chopper knives would come off the combine, or the chopper, I mean. So yeah, ours were not wore out, but they had to take the bolts out and put a, I'll call it a spacer. I mean, it ain't a spacer, but a big old piece beside it. They had to take all the bolts out and put new bolts in. They said I could run one more year and then flip the knives over. It'd be just fine. Well, I pretty well said, well, hey, if you got to take all the bolts out, just put new knives in while you're doing it. I mean, or flip them. I mean, I kind of thought in some ways, I'm like, shit, you're there. Just put new knives in or flip them over while you're there and not worry about it. But opted to go for new chopper knives, which that's like I thought. I'm like, hey, you're there. They give me the old knives, so I got the old knives, so we can flip them. We can run it a couple years. We can run it and then flip them back. So that was kind of my thought. You're there. Hey, don't put old knives back in, was my thought. And this will run 3 years. We can flip them, but I got the old knives here. Whether we put them in or not, who knows? I mean, I'll probably forget about it or throw them in the metal pile. Time I forget, remember that. But so they did that. Which that was right there at the end. My feeder house chain was all jacked up and had issues from day one on that. When it slipped it, put a new chain in, took the feeder house off, and the upper sprocket was all basically trash, they said. So yeah, 447 hours in the separator. That should never have happened. Hopefully Case will stand behind it and pay some money on that, because yeah, that is downright ridiculous. So I will be making a phone call to Case on that, because that is flat out ridiculous. That had to put a new feeder house chain in, and they said there was no rock damage. They said there was no, which that's what I thought, rock damage. You might get one, and they pretty well said nope, there was no rock damage to it. So that they basically said just a flaw somewhere. Did that, put the new sprocket in, or new upper sprocket, something else. Chopper knives, that, and done a full CMI on it. Oh, and there was a piece of underneath the sieve, I think the pre, but I'm not sure exactly which one it was. And I didn't see it. Then when they was doing the CMI, they found it. It was a piece of plastic, or a piece had broke off and had kind of covering part of the sieves. So they figured it out, and it basically had broke the rivets out of it. They said that piece was not out. Well, they did not have it out when they did the stuff last fall. So they said hopefully Case will stand behind that too, because they said they never have seen one do that, and they didn't even know where it even came from. They were very curious, so got that fixed. Just knick-knack stupid stuff that shouldn't have happened. Like I said, Case has got a good combine, but this 50 series, I'm just not very pleased at all with how the maintenance has been on it. I mean, I know everybody's making parts cheaper and all that, but this one's been very, very disappointing. I mean, I won't say what we spent on this combine, but yeah, it was a buku of money. I mean, it was a buku of money that should not have happened on a 500-hour combine on the separator. That should not ever happen on that much. So kind of aggravated. We'll have some words with Case on that, and still am very unhappy. Have still not got a call back from any rep on this bean pointer to plant wheat. So yeah, I'm on a rampage here on that, because our planted wheat does look tenfold better. Now, man, if you'd have got a rain in September, October for this airflowed wheat, it'd have been fine, I think. But it ain't gonna matter now because it's just been so darn dry. But I guess that's where I'll leave this video. I'll get back to greasing my chopper, and I'll go out and get that place mowed, and then I may try and winterize this liquid stuff before I go to town and get some beans. I think that's it. I'm gonna pull my combine in the shop here. I gotta pull my 245 in there too. Probably I'll do that tomorrow with the door open. Just get everything out of there, or not out of there, but I'll get the nav and all that out of there probably, because I'm not going to cultivate a bunch, I don't think. But yeah, I'll end this video here. It's a good long one, so I've been sorry for the delay on getting back to you, but talk to you later. Hope you enjoy.